Day 10 of Broncos training camp saw some amazing plays by the offense, saw some solid work by the defense. All around, pretty good day for the Broncos. Hello, and thank you for joining us for our daily recap. I'm Phil Milani alongside Nick Ferguson and Aric DiLalla. Guys, we saw a couple of firsts for this training camp. One-on-ones, and also our first little fight. Maybe it was a skirmish. I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to call it more of a skirmish than an actual full-blown fight. But I noticed something that I've never seen in all of my 10 years of training camp. A head coach bring two guys together, have them meet, talk it out, but then a mutual hug. I've never seen that. Usually when there's an altercation between two players, we take it into the cafeteria. But this is a whole different era with Nathaniel Hackett, once again proving his leadership by getting these guys together to kind of talk it out.
Everything they do here is related to the game and what's going to get you ready for a game. And he said after practice, you throw a punch in a game, you're done, you're gone. And so he's got to treat it the same way here out at practice, get guys ready to go. One of his 3 rules is protect the team. And again, if you're getting in a fight and you're getting thrown out, you're not protecting the team. Nick, one thing you didn't mention, Nathaniel Hackett joined in on the hug.
Yeah.
It was a three-person.
He was part of it.
What, McTelvin Agim, Nathaniel Hackett,
Ben Braden.
And Ben Braden, all hugging it out. Now it's done.
Sure.
Yeah, Nick, come on, man.
Come on.
It was good.
Yes. See, a hug does definitely feel good.
I feel better now. I feel better. What do you think about the one-on-ones? Because all camp long we've heard Coach say, hey, I'd rather get some real football. I want 11 on 11. Not today.
No, I love the one-on-ones because last year or the past 3 years with Vic Fangio, we really didn't get a chance to see a lot. And knowing as though you're putting pads on for the first time, I guess on a Saturday in a full-blown practice before Dallas comes in here next week, you wanted to make sure that guys still had that competitive edge and that competitive drive because in the game, they're going to rely on this inside the red zone. And some of these one-on-ones that they practice definitely helped them when they went inside the red zone with the offense.
The offense looked pretty good in the red zone.
Yeah, the offense was really good in the red zone. Efficient, executed well, made some plays. You saw an incredible catch from Montrell Washington down there. Cortland Sutton had a touchdown. You know, it's going to take some time, I think, to work out all of the kinks, but for the offense to operate as smoothly as they did in the red zone today, to run the 2-minute drill as well as they have the last couple of days, I think that's really encouraging. And, you know, we talked at the beginning of the week, when is the offense going to start to click? When are they going to get it together? I think we've seen them kind of start to put things together, start to have that click and move forward.
Yeah, it seemed like they're starting to build days back-to-back here. Nathaniel Hackett said that the offense is fully installed now, and now they're just trying to work on things. I mean, makes sense that, 2 weeks in that it would be fully installed.
Well, you definitely want to do that, and I'm sure for the younger guys who are still trying to make their way in the NFL and understand what this game is about, it breathes a sigh of relief for those guys, knowing is that all the plays offensively are in, but now this is where the true test starts to come. Can you take that information and constantly refer to it when they start to call different plays and you're not looking at their script saying, okay, well, I'm the 4th wide receiver to go in, here are my particular plays. No, everything is open now in the playbook, but now can you run every single play to perfection?
I think you see a good mastery of the system from Russell Wilson, which is important. We can't take for granted that over the last few years, you've had some times where maybe the quarterback didn't even know everything or things weren't perfect there. And so the fact that you don't have to worry about Russell Wilson in that regard is a huge relief. It's a weight off your shoulders. He's got the guys going. Again, when things are kind of in crunch time in the red zone in 2 minutes, I think that's when you can really tell, do you have an understanding of this or not? I think it's a little bit easier in a normal play to make things work, but when you either don't have a lot of space or you don't have a lot of time, that's when kind of the truth comes out, and I think you've seen the Broncos offense has a pretty good understanding of what they're doing.
Nick, you mentioned the Cowboys coming in here next week. They're going to have one practice on Thursday before the game on Saturday. Nathaniel Hackett said, though, he does not know how long the starters will play. With just 3 preseason games, what would you expect the Broncos to do next week?
Well, I mean, the Broncos are going to try to get a lot of their work in on that Thursday practice. If you are able to do that in a competitive way, you really don't need to see them in the game against Dallas. But I'm expecting if they do play, maybe a series, 25 plays at the most. But you want to see those guys get out because it's a new offense, new play caller, and you want to be able to work through the headsets and all those types of issues. But I don't think this team is really going to have to worry about that, because it's all about getting across the finish line, keeping everyone healthy.
What do you think, Aric? You don't want to see anybody. You probably don't even want to see a second stringers play, right?
That'd be your guess. I actually do want Russell Wilson to play. I think that it's important for him to just have that operation with the first team offense, get a few live reps under his belt before you get to the regular season. Like Nick said, maybe a series this week, a little bit more the following week in Buffalo, but after that, quickly put him on ice, get him out of there. He's interestingly a guy that has played a lot in the preseason in his career, whereas Nathaniel Hackett, I think, based on how he's talked to the podium, doesn't sound like he's huge on the preseason. Obviously, Matt LaFleur is one of those guys in Green Bay that never plays any of the starters, and so it'll be interesting to see philosophically, how do you handle, who wins here? Is it Nathaniel Hackett and his strategy, or is it Russell Wilson, who's typically wanted some snaps?
We'll have to see. Hopefully Thursday's practice is enough for them. But we'll see what happens on Saturday when they take the field at Empower Field at Mile High. All right, that's going to do it for us. For Aric DiLalla and Nick Ferguson, I'm Phil Milani. This has been your Broncos Training Camp Daily Recap.